tits are so big. I actually just walked a marathon today, which is cool. Sorry, I meant to say I watched a marathon. It was one of those Krispy Kreme fun runs, you know, with the donuts. And I was supposed to sit off to the side and hand out donuts to the runners. But I didn't really do that. I would just wait for someone to run past me and I'd just be like, honestly, fatty, I don't think you deserve it. Not yet, not yet. I feel like marathons and watching people running is so boring because I have to cheer them on and pretend like I'm excited. But in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, when are we going to get back to bombing these things? It gets so much worse. I went on a cruise to Mexico recently, and there was a guy on the cruise ship, and he was blind, and he had on glasses and walked with a cane, and he had on a shirt that said, "Make America Great Again." And I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, does he know he's wearing that shirt? Like, does he know where we're going? Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, being disabled and bigoted is like being a shark with no teeth. Like, no one's afraid of you, dude. You can't be blind and racist. That's why God did that to you. I do think it's unfortunate what immigrants are having to go through in this country, especially children being put in detention centers. Like, I don't cry a lot. It's the one liberal trait that I don't have. But that's really upsetting, mostly because I feel like it would be a really easy issue to fix if Trump spent as much money on immigrant welfare as he has on immigrant pussy. I think a good temporary solution, at least for now, would be to take these kids out of detention centers and have them go stay at politicians' houses. I think it would be a win-win for right now. You know, these kids would have a roof over their heads, and I'm sure we all know that any politician would be ecstatic about having a house full of little boys. I've been thinking a lot about feminism. You know, am I a feminist? Am I not? Because there's a lot of aspects of feminism that I agree with, a lot that I disagree with. I've come to the conclusion that I'm feminish, you know? Like, I would never call another woman a bitch, right? Unless she was one. I don't know. I was reading an article in the news about a high school in Texas, and a teacher found a glory hole in the girls' bathroom. And I read that, and I was like, when Malala Yousafzai was shot in the head by a Taliban whilst fighting for the right of young girls to go to school, I don't think this is what she had in mind. But I don't know, could be wrong, could be wrong. I think the reason I was so on the fence about feminism is because if you're going to be passionate about the women who want their PhD, you also have to be equally as passionate about the women who just want the D. And I don't know if I'm up for that. Why are there no female school shooters? That's what I want to know. Like, I'm not going to do it. No one in here is going to do it. But someone's got to be the first one. You always say we need trailblazers. I don't want a woman to shoot up a school, but I do want to see the news' reaction when it happens. Because you know there's going to be some Fox News anchor like, someone check her calendar! Was she on her period? And it's like, yeah, probably. Maybe she just didn't want to bleed alone. I just had a baby. Thank you. He was born 8.5 months premature. Rest in peace. I think teenagers are really stupid, and I think that as a parent, if you kill your kid before they turn 18, it should just be considered an abortion. I guess I'm not advocating killing teenagers. I just think that we're going to be fine without the help of a 14-year-old boy who smokes e-cigarettes in a Taco Bell parking lot. We're going to be okay as a society. Jordan was talking about Jesus. I think Jesus was gay. I don't think you can argue that. Obviously, he was really good at laying there and getting nailed. Surprisingly, I haven't gotten my ass kicked for that joke yet. I think the wheelchair definitely plays a part in that. I think being disabled definitely has its disadvantages, but people do cut you slack for a lot of things. Like, if a guy with Down syndrome shot up a school, you know there'd be a small part of you that was like, "Aw." Maybe Facebook was right. They can't accomplish their dreams. I guess I'll leave you with this. I did have surgery recently, like I said, and they had to put me to sleep for it. And there was like the doctors and the anesthesiologist in the room, and the anesthesiologist was like, "So, we hear you do stand-up, why don't you tell us a joke?" And I have no memory of this, but apparently I was like, "Okay, so sometimes my vagina," and then I just passed out.